Everyone ready?
Yep.
Yes. Quiet on the set.
Oh.
4, 3.
Hi, everybody. This is a new episode of Soul2Soulz Conversation. And today I have some wonderful and amazing guests from my program at downtown Brooklyn, YABC. And we are here together to talk about our program, talk about what YABC is, and just talk about some interests of the young people that's with us. So I'm going to start and introduce my young lady with us, Bernice. But before we do that, just wanting to make it clear that we have all been vaccinated, cleared, checked out, and everything before here, and doing a little bit of social distancing while we're here. So I'd like to start with Bernice.
Hi, my name is Bernice. I'm currently a student at downtown YABC from Brooklyn Tech. I spend a lot of my time here just working on myself and actually networking. So when I found out that my class would be working with Soul2Soulz, I got really excited, and I'm really looking forward to this.
Hello, my name is Tyshawn, and I'm from downtown YABC, and I come from Brooklyn High School of the Arts. And like when I first learned about Soul2Soulz, it was when I had that class, and then, like she said, we were networking, and we got to learn about photography, recording, all of that.
Hi, I'm Syed, and I came to YABC from Brooklyn Tech, and I was introduced to Soul2Soulz from my counselor, actually, because I told her that I really like filmmaking, and she told me that Soul2Soulz will be a great place to start, and so I'm really excited to be here and work with them, and collaborative process, and really,
Okay. All right. So the Soul2Soulz program is a nonprofit organization which we focus on social emotional learning, leadership development, college and career prep, as well as creating films that are an expression to what the young people want to discuss and have the world see and hear to amplify their voices. So right now, in about another 2 weeks, we're going to actually be filming the project that we're working on. And actually, Saeed and the other students here were part of the brainchild of what we created around talking about like self-confidence. And sometimes we're thinking people are talking about us or looking down upon us. And reality, people have their own stuff going on, and it really isn't about that. Sometimes it's how you view yourself is how you think the world is viewing you. And when you switch how you view yourself in a positive light, you might realize that people may be thinking a lot more positively about you than what you might assume. So that's going to be something that we'll be doing in 2 weeks. But what I would like to do is talk about the amazing program that we have in terms of the schooling. So YABC, I know, is in New York, has this in the city schools, and it's called the Young Adult Borough Center. So do you guys want to tell us a little bit about what that is and how it's helping you?
Sure. So YABC is a evening program for struggling high schoolers that's having trouble graduating high school. If anyone wants, anyone needs extra credit, or if anyone needs extra credit or just struggling in general, they can consider the YABC and to help them assist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like he said, I just want to add on to that. But like the good thing about YABC, like if you're struggling like financially, just emotionally, you have people there that can they can help you out with to better your situation. That's basically what happened with me.
Right. Yeah. And the age group is from what age to what age can you be in YABC? So it's also like a term that's used as overaged, undercredited. So you may be a senior or a junior that's 20 years old and you're still working and graduate, but isn't there like an age range?
You can start as young as I think 15.
Okay.
But then I think you can no longer attend YABC when you're 21. I
Okay,
think.
after 21.
Yeah, after 21.
Okay. Yeah, so it's for those students. So tell me this, what kept you or motivated you to come to YABC versus what other young people may decide to just drop out? What kept you here?
I think realistically what kept me here were my classmates and my personal standards. I saw a lot of my classmates graduating, moving on. They were telling me all about where they were going for college, and me watching them strive made me realize that I shouldn't have to stoop and sit alone by myself, and like they really motivated me. Seeing their success, I said I want to be like them. I want to, you know, get somewhere. And I think realistically, I also have my friends to thank for that. Despite the fact that I couldn't walk with them at graduation, they're like, you can take your own path now. Not everyone's path has to be the same.
Right, absolutely.
So basically what happened with me was, like, I had a lot of motivation from, like she said, her friends, my sister. Like, I seen that she got a full ride to college, and like it motivated me to like do my own thing. Even though I may not be doing it as fast as other people, I did it by myself. I didn't need no one's help like that. And like I said, I want to go to college too. So, and I need my degree for that.
Absolutely. What about you, Sahil?
So I was really struggling with high school. The workload was too much, so I pretty much gave up and became unmotivated. But they told me about YABC, and they told me what they have to offer, and it's also an evening program, so that means that I don't have to wake up super early to get to school, and I won't be tired the whole day.
Yeah.
So that really helped me there, and also they simplified the workload for me. They told me where to start. They told me exactly what to do, and if you do this, you'll graduate high school, and that's exactly what I've been doing, and it's going so good so far.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, well, I'm happy that you took this route and that it's important to not give up, because we never know what it is that we can be, right? And it's excellent. Like, one of the things that I do appreciate and like is that with Downtown YABC, you not only have like the creative outlet and the social emotional development outlet with Soul2Soulz, you also have a program with Good Shepherd Services that partners with it, offers counseling and support and giving you resources within and outside the school if you need it. So that's a really big bonus, I think. What do you think has made it sometimes a struggle or difficult for young people, especially like now that the pandemic happened and all of that, right? What has made it, you think, a struggle for people to be, or young people to be focused on education?
I think personally, I found it really hard because I was struggling with my mental health, and I think like a lot of high schoolers or a lot of, you know, people our age are struggling with that too, and especially with the pandemic, we lost access to the resources, to the people that can help us, and it's just not the same when you have to sit behind a screen rather than being able to talk to someone face to face. And I think that's particularly what made it harder for people, like not just like not having those resources.
Yeah.
I agree with her on that. Like, I feel like a lot of people, if they don't stick to a schedule, they'll fall out of it. And especially like you're at home.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just like, they like to procrastinate. And like that's what happened to me like the first part of COVID, like the first like 3 or 4 months. Like I wasn't doing my work. Like I started to fall behind. Especially like I was unmotivated. And I just like basically just gave up on school. And then my counselor had let me know about YABC, and like when I heard about it, it seemed like a great program for me. Like especially like waking up early, that was a problem for me. Like just coming in on time, and you get that like afternoon. Like it's flexible to you. Like you can choose when you want to start. Like it's a very great program. And like you said, Good Shepherd Services, they offer you a job. Like they pay you on the side.
Right. Absolutely.
Like he mentioned, that people's schedule got really. Like he mentioned, it's the schedule was very different. So when we changed from working from home, learning from home, and then coming to school, it was a very different experience. So people, their interactions changed, the way they socialize changed. So that's a little struggle.
Right. Absolutely. So talk to me a little bit about your experience with Soul2Soulz. You know, we talk about different topics utilizing films, clips, and spark a lot of discussions around some of the issues that, you know, we think are important. And you guys get to put your 2 cents in about, you know, what your thoughts and feelings are, and then the process that we had with creating the film. So talk to me about like what you have gained from being a part of the Soul2Soulz program.
I think being a part of Soul2Soulz has really made me realize that everything can be a cooperative process, and that you don't really have to go through things alone. It's also taught me how to be more compassionate, and I overall like the message from Soul2Soulz, how you're allowing like the people to have a voice, because certain people rather hide than speak, but I think like being able to utilize film and utilize the voices of those who are struggling, and they can express their message so that other people can understand that they're not alone, that anyone can go through what they're going through. And I think it's a great message overall.
Like she said, yeah, I agree with that. Like the great thing about Soul2Soul is like how it, like you learn a lot of things from it. Like it helps you like cooperate with people. Like it gives you a different perspective to things. Like it helps you like say it. Like it's just
okay.
it's just I know, like it's just the program, like it's you learn a lot of things. Like you can learn about like film, all of that.
Okay.
So like I mentioned earlier, I really want to be a filmmaker. Like I mentioned earlier, I really wanted to be a filmmaker. So Soul2Soulz is providing me with the resources to take a step forward in that profession. So
That's okay.
So while I'm learning about filmmaking, I was also able to learn a lot about the social issues regarding, well, our society, and also my ideas were being heard, and so they also took my ideas and they listened to me and actually brought it to life.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I was really impressed with Syed because when we started to talk about what we wanted to create and what they wanted the world to know about them and what they're going through, Syed took the initiative and actually created his own script. And I have to say I was and I'm being completely honest, I was super impressed because my first time trying to write a script didn't look half as good as what he put together. Like, he had his screen headings, he had directions, and he created a really good story. And this is his first time out. So I was just like, Syed, like, how did you do all of this? Because I didn't even know how to do any of these things when I first started. So I was really encouraged by that and excited, to see that. I think you're going to be a great filmmaker one day, and I know you are. And so I want to keep you encouraged, in doing this work, because you're going to do a great job. I could see it already. You can hire me one day when you're ready. So we were talking a little bit before we started. We were talking about culture, right? Because all of us have different cultural backgrounds, and families come from different places. So for me, my family is immigrated from Jamaica. Bernice, yours has come from?
They come from China.
China. Where's your family from, Tyshawn?
My family's from
Here.
I'm mixed a lot. So like my grandfather was from Italy, but my father, he's Egyptian, Native American, French,
Oh, nice.
and African American.
Okay.
But like I never met my real grandfather, so I really couldn't tell you like the Egyptian side of my family. But he's like, I have a lot of cultural background, so I understand like when people say like, and I like to learn about other people's cultures as well, like we were talking about earlier.
Definitely. Where's Syed? Where's your family?
So my family is from Bangladesh, but I was actually born here. But when I was the age of 3, I actually went back to Bangladesh and grew up there up until I was 10 and came back to this country.
Okay. Oh, wow. So what was that experience like, going back and forth?
It was a major culture shift. So when I was growing up, I saw the world one way, and when I came to this country, it just completely different, and I had to adapt to that.
Absolutely. Tell me like 1 or 2 things that were major culture shifts between Bangladesh and America.
So the number one was socializing.
Okay.
We talk about very completely different things. Usually what I would say in my country would in this country be a taboo topic per se, or just inappropriate, I guess. So finding what people talk about and stuff, and that was a challenge for me.
Oh, okay. Nice. All right. What would you say, you have, Tyshawn, you have multiple cultures going on, within you. How do you think that's affected you in terms of like your values and what expectations are? Is it different in your house, and then you come outside, it's different? Like, what are some of the things that you've had to kind of make like cultural shifts with?
how I grew up with a single mother, so like I never really got to experience the other side of my family like that. But like my family's like is very big, so like we have a lot of, some people are Haitian, some people are, and so like I got that like perspective to like understand like different cultures and like that. But I never really had like a restricted like childhood. Like it was like I got to basically like explore and all that. So like I like to learn about my culture as well as my families and like my cousins. So I had that, like I said, perspective. So
Do you speak any other languages?
besides English, probably Spanish. That would be like the closest.
Okay. What would you say in terms of your culture in here? Or were you born in China or were you born here?
I was born here, so I'm technically like the first generation
Okay.
child in my family because out of the family of four with my brother, he actually grew up in China. So I actually kind of noticed like that cultural shift even when I'm home. Like he seems closer to my parents, but that's because they're more fluent in the language at home, because the language at home we just speak Cantonese.
Okay.
However, me growing up here and me constantly being out at school, like ever since I was little, I didn't actually get to adjust to them speaking at home. Like, of course I did learn prior to when I left home for school, but as I kept growing up and talking to my friends at school, talking to my teachers, communicating with others, I kind of lost touch. So I actually don't get to be as close to my parents as my brother does, but yeah, so.
How has that affected you, like feeling like, as if I'm listening to you right, did it feel like you had a bit of a distance with your family due to culture?
For sure. Like, if I were to really describe my daily routine now, it's like going out to school, taking my classes, communicating with like my counselors, teachers, classmates, and as soon as I get home, I would shower, eat dinner, and then go straight back into my room. I think realistically the only conversation I have with them is like any update about like, oh, if I'm working or when I'm about to graduate, so like what they deem the important stuff to succeeding. Other than that, like it's once in a blue moon that we'll have like normal chatter while everyone's out in the living room, but my brother's constantly talking with them 24/7, so I found that to be the hardest thing. But as my brother grows up too, and I'm growing up, I find that we've actually had more conversation recently, which does make it a little easier on myself because I do feel more included in my family now.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, it's very interesting, you know, how culture can play, you know, different avenues and things within your own family. And with YABC, I know that a lot of the times it seems like some people are there like one semester and then, you know, they get their credits and they're gone and they're graduating. And I think what the benefit of this is that you don't have to get a GED, you're getting your actual high school diploma. But what about the culture of the school? Like, it's being as though it's not as long term, are you guys able to, or ladies, gents, them, they, are you able to find connection with each other, or is it really hard to make those social connections with each other in that type of schooling?
I wouldn't say not necessarily. Like, I feel like if we have a lunch break period, and like it's basically open space, and you basically get to come up and talk to people, especially if like socially active, and like we said earlier, we all got to know each other before this, so I feel like if you actually talk to people, it's like there's so much people there in this program that you can talk to, and you can gain new ideas and all of that.
Yeah, personally, it's not difficult because it's diverse, yet the school is very diverse, but I can talk to people. We can easily find common interests, whether it's about movies, video games, or just life in general. But when I find a common ground, it's easy to have a conversation back and forth and stick with them.
Yeah, I actually didn't find it hard at all. And if anything, I think like us being in the program ourselves is like the key factor to how we all socialize, because we're all there for the same reason, to make up for our high school credits that we never got while we were in our day schools. So with that in mind, like me going in, I didn't really think about like culture. I just saw like, oh, this is someone who has been going through a very similar situation, and like we should just talk. Like, you know, if it was hard on me, I can't say that for everyone, but it might have been hard on them too. So it was really easy to connect.
Well, I'm going to end it here. I want to thank all of you for coming and being a part of this segment and talking about, you know, your experiences, your backgrounds, who you are, and your experience with Soul2Soulz and Brooklyn, downtown Brooklyn YABC. Thank you.
All right, it's cut.
All right. How'd it feel?
That's why I want to be a director, behind the camera, not in front.